Oh, we were just enjoying a great joke. Welcome back to the Skydcast. I'm here with Maya Ziv, who's been covering the mixed division, and let's hear what's been going on so far. The people want to know, has anyone else received a pair of Sky Playmaker shorts?
Not quite yet.
Good.
I'm waiting to see how the rounds play out.
But seriously,
yeah.
more importantly, what's been going on in the second round?
The second round saw a really interesting game between Seven Figures and Polar Bears. I think, like I said last time, I think mixed is going to come down to the mixed versus the open women's team.
Interesting.
And Seven Figures and Polar Bears are two of the mixed teams, so seeing those guys match up was pretty cool. I mean, I think Polar Bears came out on top. The wind picked up a little bit, and I think that made a huge difference. Something to note was that Adam Rady, who's been a huge player for them, big hucker, lays out all the time. He actually hurt his ankle pretty seriously. It looked like he might be out for the rest of the day. They're actually playing a game right now. I don't see him playing, so he was icing, had his cleats off, so we'll see how that affects them. And actually, after that injury, Seven Figures came back a few points before Polar Bears closed it out. I think the final score was 15-11, I believe. And then another thing, I was also on the sidelines of AMP and Dragon Thrust, and I actually had picked Dragon Thrust to win there, but, you know, with Dragon Thrust was leading 8-4. Again, I think we saw them getting a little bit relaxed, and the turnovers started to happen, like uncontested turnovers. There were a lot of turf throws. They just weren't playing their game, really, and AMP took advantage, and they just scored time after time, and they ended up winning 15-12.
Okay.
So that was kind of heartbreaking for Dragon Thrust, but we'll see. This next round they're matched up against D5, and they beat District 5 earlier this season, so if they can repeat that, that'll be pretty interesting final round results for this.
So D5 prevailed over Jackson Jills last round as well?
Yeah, I believe so. I think the score was 15-9.
Okay. So talk about Pool B and Pool D briefly. We have Wolverines, who so far they were at a bit of a shaky start against Overhaul.
Yeah.
Were they able to continue strong against...
Yeah, they pretty much stomped on Mustaino. I think score was 15-8. I mean, it shows that, you know, Mustaino is just not as athletic, doesn't have the experience and the skill that the individuals on Wolverines have.
But did Overhaul compete as well against Blackbird?
No, I think the score there was a few point difference. I think it might have been 15-11, the final score. Yeah. So, I mean, which is kind of a bummer for Overhaul, I think. Playing so well against Wolverines, it would have been nice to put up points against Blackbird, but
and finally in Pool D, how have Chad Larson, who I think that's your pick to win this whole thing.
It is.
And
they
Sleeper
had,
Bucket.
Right. So Chad Larson, unfortunately, didn't have the best game against Termite Entourage. They beat them 15-13, which is a bummer because they needed that round as sort of a rest, and it looked like they didn't get that. Bucket lost to Slow White 15-13 as well. So, you know, that was Bucket's. Bucket's been basically missing on their chance to beat the people above them by just a few points. So.
Okay.
Yep.
So next round, what are the games that matter? We've got a round starting at 3 and a round starting at 4.
Yeah, the next round has all the 1-2 matchups. So that's, I mean, there's a lot of great games. Ghosts and Polar Bears are playing right now. I'm gonna head right over there after this. District 5 and Dragon Thrust, like I said, the next round that could be a repeat win for Dragon Thrust, and that'll boost them into the next round. Wolverines Blackbird, that's the Northwest Finals rematch. So that'll be pretty
Wolverines
exciting.
prevailed at regionals, but I don't remember if it was a close game or not.
I think it was 15-11.
Okay, so not super close.
Not super close, but you know, if I was on Blackbird, I'd be training this whole time just to beat them. So hopefully that works out for them.
Okay, and then Chad Larson
and Slow White
against Slow.
Yeah.
So this is all. It sounds like, with exception to maybe Pool A, and maybe Pool C, all the pools have been going to seed for the most part.
Kind of.
In terms of power pools.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, the Ghost Polar Bears is a really interesting game because if Polar Bears wins, then there's it comes down to like point differentials, I believe, If Polar Bears wins, then that knocks Ghost out. But if Ghost wins here and there's the 1 seed, right? Then it'll be interesting results there. So
and as we all know, it's okay when it's in a 3-way.
Yes.
Okay. So, Maya Ziv, mixed division reporter for Sky. Thank you very much. We'll be checking in with you again at Hardcap.
Yep, sounds good. I'll be here. Thanks, Elliot.